Light filtered through the semi-organic canopy of the royal healing chamber, dappling the walls with shifting green patterns. Jack Rames lay still, half submerged in a vat of bioluminescent gel, naked from the waist up, his torso webbed with faintly glowing sutures. Every breath felt like it passed through fire. He opened his eyes. Everything was quiet, but not in a way he trusted. Too clean, too calm, like the pause before a storm. Then came the rustle of silk and the faint scent of crushed violets. Queen Azrael stepped into view, her expression unreadable, violet eyes narrowed slightly. "You are awake," she said, more observation than relief. Jack tried to sit up. His ribs protested violently. "Still alive," he grunted. "Sorry to disappoint." Her lips curled, almost but not quite a smile. "You intercepted 2 arrows with your body. That was not expected." He grimaced. "Yeah, well, guess I didn't read the dress code." Azrael approached, hands folded in front of her. She moved like still water, serene on the surface, depths hidden. Jack noticed the chamber guards outside the transparent wall, watching, but making no move to intervene. She had dismissed the healers. That was deliberate. "The arrows were tipped with voidstone," she said. "Illegal. Ancient. Designed to disrupt psionic fields. Had they struck me..." Jack waved a hand weakly. Yeah. Galaxy explodes. Peace dies. You get another civil war." She stared at him a moment too long. That is not hyperbole. A cold knot tightened in Jack's gut. He'd been on enough deployments to know the difference between politics and prophecy. He looked down at his stitched chest, then back up at her. "So," he said carefully, "I stopped an apocalypse with my shoulder." "You did." There was no sarcasm in her voice. Only gravity. It settled over him like lead. Azrael stepped closer. He realized now that her pupils had changed, less slitted, more rounded, as if reacting to him. "You are not Phyrexia," she said. "And yet you moved without hesitation. No command. No bond. You acted on instinct." Jack gave a weak chuckle. "That's just human wiring. We see danger. We jump on the grenade." Her gaze sharpened. "Grenade? Never mind." Silence fell again, but it felt different now, charged, not awkward. He noticed the faint shimmer in the air between them, like heat mirage. A tickle in his skull. She was doing something. Probing, lightly, like a finger testing ice. "You're in my head," he said. "I am touching the edges," she replied. "Your pain is loud. And your thoughts are..." She tilted her head, frowning. "Messy. Welcome to the human experience." She reached out suddenly, not to touch him, but to let her fingers hover just above his wound. Her breath caught. "The tissue, it's mending faster than expected. Your body responds aggressively, adaptively." Jack raised a brow. "You say that like it's weird." "It is. The biocrystal mesh we use shouldn't integrate this rapidly. Your cells are rebuilding around it, as if claiming it." "Well," he said, his voice dry, "I always was a bit clingy." Azrael didn't laugh. Instead, she studied him for several more seconds, then turned to leave. "I've summoned the High Circle," she said. "Some believe your act was a calculated insult, an insinuation that we cannot defend our own monarch. Others see it as sacred." Jack exhaled slowly. "Let me guess. They're going to vote on whether to thank me or throw me out an airlock." Azrael paused at the threshold, her silhouette sharp against the soft glow beyond. "No," she said. "They will witness." And then she was gone. He lay there for a long time after, his mind churning. He hadn't saved her for politics. He hadn't known about Voidstone, or telepathic bonds, or the ancient traditions of alien aristocrats. He'd seen an incoming threat, and he'd acted. The same way he had when his squad leader had stepped on a mine. The same way he always did. But this was different. That moment had changed something. Not just in him. In her. In them. And from the way the air still hummed where she'd stood, Jack had a feeling this wasn't over. Not by a long shot. The hall was silent. Sergeant Jack Rames stood at its center, dressed not in his usual uniform, but in ceremonial armor unlike anything he'd ever worn, silver-paneled, seamless, alive. The plates shifted with his breath, responding to muscle tension, body heat, even thought. Etched along the shoulders were Terran military insignia, redone in Virexi script, and at the center of the chest was a symbol he didn't recognize, two crossed blades beneath a crown of stars. Before him, the Virexi high circle stood arranged in tiers, dozens of nobles cloaked in translucent silks that flickered with emotional resonance. They didn't blink. They didn't speak. Only their breathing, slow and synchronized, suggested life. Jack exhaled, quiet but firm. So, what now? Queen Azrael stepped forward from the dais. Her voice was low, yet it carried. Now, we fulfill the debt. He glanced toward her, cautious. I didn't save you to collect favors. You misunderstand. This is not a favor. It is law, ancient and immutable. She descended the final steps, stopping just short of him. When one intercepts death meant for a sovereign, that life becomes entwined with the crown. You are no longer outsider, soldier, or guest. You are consort by right. Jack blinked. You're kidding. I never jest in front of the circle. There was no amusement in her tone. No warmth either. Only certainty, as if she were stating gravity or mass. He looked into her eyes and saw no deception. But he did see something else, resignation and hope buried under layers of royal control. He swallowed. I'm not Virexi. I'm not psychic. I'm not even diplomatic material. You are human, she said, and that has proven more than enough. The chamber responded to her declaration. A low, harmonic pulse rippled outward from the throne, as if the building itself had acknowledged him. But the silence didn't last. A ripple passed through the nobles. One broke formation, tall, draped in armor dark as tar, eyes burning with contempt. This is sacrilege, he spat, voice echoing. A Terran consort? A blunt force barbarian? Our ancestors will howl. Jack's jaw clenched. He didn't move. Yet. Azrael turned her head slightly. Lord Vesic, this decree was sealed by right. The arrow bond is ancient. You know this. He is a foreigner. He is a shield. When you hid, he bled. Gasps flickered through the assembly. Lord Vesic bared his teeth. Then let him prove his right. In the circle. Let blood answer blood. Jack sighed. Of course this ends in a fight. Azrael looked at him, her voice now a whisper only he could hear. You do not have to accept. I can bar this challenge. But something in Jack's chest stirred. The same thing that had made him leap in front of arrows. That same voice that always said do it yourself if you want it done right. He nodded once. No need. Let him try. The floor shifted. A circular platform rose between the tiers, bordered by hovering glyphs that hissed and sparked. Virexi tradition, she'd explained. The duel of witness. No killing. No mercy. Only truth, declared through action. Jack stepped onto the platform. Lord Vesic followed, twin curved blades appearing from the shadows of his sleeves. The platform locked in place. The duel began. Jack moved first, sidestepping a blinding slash. Vesic was fast, inhumanly so, but Jack didn't fight like the Virexi. He wasn't elegant. He was efficient. Every move was brutal economy. Elbow, parry, drive forward. He took a shallow cut to land a deeper punch, broke a finger blocking a blade, then used the same hand to choke Vesic against the floor. It didn't last long. Vesic hit the ground with a crack that echoed through the chamber. Jack staggered back, bloodied but standing. The silence that followed was electric. Azrael raised one hand. Let it be witnessed. The human stood. The challenger fell. The bond is sealed. No one spoke. Not even Vesic, who crawled away, pride in tatters. Jack stood panting, blood dripping from a split lip. He turned to Azrael, a wry smile forming. You know, he said, I was hoping the reward would be a plaque. Maybe a fruit basket. Azrael stepped forward, lifting her hand to his chest. You are the reward. He stared at her, unsure whether to laugh or salute. She leaned in, her voice again in his mind. Your presence changes everything. Our enemies know it. Our allies feel it. And now so do I. Jack didn't answer. He didn't need to. Because deep inside, he felt something shift, a pulse of thought not his own, a thread linking two minds, two species. And for the first time, Jack Rames didn't just stand for humanity. He stood with her.